1001 Life Lessons People Often Learn Too Late, Part 2. Welcome to Part 2 of 1001 Life Lessons People Often Learn Too Late. In the previous part, we explored deep, meaningful stories together. Today, let's continue the journey to discover more valuable lessons that can help you live a fuller, more meaningful life each day. Let's get started. Some people only care about you when you do something for them. You can't always help someone change, and there will come a point when you decide you can't continue anymore because they clearly don't want to change. If you spend too much time thinking about something, you'll never complete it. Trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and a lifetime to repair. True power is letting others lose you instead of begging them to choose you. The truth is an expensive gift, don't expect it from cheap people. Most people are kind when it doesn't matter. Money doesn't grow on trees, it grows on skills. Your life will be better when you realize no one really cares. Accept yourself, love yourself, and keep moving forward. If you want to fly, let go of what's pulling you down. When you begin to see your own worth, it becomes harder to stay around people who don't respect that. Maturity is realizing that any relationship can be resolved and repaired, no matter the situation. Never underestimate someone's feelings because you don't know how brave they were to share them. Be careful when doing good deeds, because kindness has its limits, and some people will take advantage of your generosity. Your progress doesn't need to be seen or acknowledged by others for it to be real. The only time you should look into someone else's bowl is to make sure they have enough. One day, your life will flash before your eyes. Make sure it's worth watching. No one becomes wealthy without enriching others. The greatest risk in life is being too cautious. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. One day, you'll have a clean home, a quiet place, and a spotless car, but all you'll want is the people who made the mess to come back home. Actions prove who you are, words only prove who you pretend to be. Never take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. When you work for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. Successful people love challenges, opportunities to prove their worth, to excel and win. Inaction breeds doubt and fear, while action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, don't sit at home and think about it, go out and act. When you do everything right, people won't even know what you did. Believe half of what you see and don't believe anything you hear. Never expect someone to catch you when you fall, even if you've saved others from falling many times. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. Someone without their own life will always try to create trouble in yours. You can't lose what you've never had, you can't keep what isn't yours, and you can't hold on to what doesn't want to stay. You may be with someone for years and still realize that they were never really your friend. Every ending is a new beginning, we just don't realize it at the time. The more you escape the noise of life, the clearer everything becomes. People are less afraid to upset those who inspire them. Love is inspiration, fear is a continuous desire for success. If you want to succeed, you must change your behavior over time. Life may knock you down, but remember, you don't lose when you fall, you only lose when you don't get up. You may be the only one who still believes in yourself, but that's enough. People are driven by 2 main forces, love or fear. Nature creates few brave people, but many become brave through practice. Nothing is more successful than an enemy believing you're too scared to try. If you want to keep happiness, share it. Burning passion combined with reason and perseverance is a quality that often leads to success. It's not the title that honors the person, but the person who honors the title. Finally, the embrace of others will either fall off your back, weigh you down, or bind you. A person dedicated to helping others will have a significant advantage. Laugh today, it's the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. The desire to feel important is the biggest difference between humans and animals. You should have ways of making money that others don't know about. The most beautiful road is the one you create yourself. Earning money is never boring, but giving money away will quickly become tiresome. Wealth is like happiness, it can never be fully achieved. When sought directly, it comes as a byproduct of providing a useful service. You can learn more in 1 hour of practice than in 10 hours of listening. Sometimes the hardest thing is not letting go, but learning how to start again. Personally, I love strawberries and cream, but I find that for some strange reason, fish prefer to shiver. So, when fishing, I don't think about what I want, but about what the fish want. Are you bored with life? Then immerse yourself in the work you truly believe in with all your heart. Live for it, die for it, and you will find the happiness you once thought was unattainable. Don't let yourself be upset by small things. We should despise and forget them. Remember, life is too short to be petty. You don't learn by following the rules. You learned by doing and stumbling. The secret to a successful life is discovering your own destiny and then living it. There are two kinds of people who will lose money: those who are too weak to protect what they have, and those who win money by trickery. Both will lose in the end. There comes a time in life when you have to choose to continue the page, write another book, or simply close it. Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. Honesty is an expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Most people are only kind when it doesn't matter. Never be too good to forget wisdom, and never be too wise to forget kindness. You will be alone during the toughest times in life. These moments will make you wise, mature, and fearless. Some people only care about you when you are doing something for them. When you begin to see your worth, you'll find it harder to be around people who don't respect you. Maturity is realizing that a relationship may not always work, but it can always be repaired, no matter the situation. One wrong step can change everything. Don't lie, don't deceive. Be honest and loyal. Never underestimate someone's feelings. You never know how brave they were to share them. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for someone else to die. You can't truly control someone's loyalty to you. You can do so much for someone and still not be treated well. If you blame others, don't expect it to get better. One day, you will have a clean house, a quiet place, and a car with flawless interior, and all you will want is for the people who made the mess to come back home. Actions prove who someone is, words only prove who they pretend to be. When you feel someone is avoiding you, don't bother them anymore. Be cautious with good deeds. Kindness has limits, and some people may take advantage of your generosity. Your progress doesn't need to be seen or confirmed by others to be real. Expectations always hurt. Therefore, expect less or expect nothing from others. Between choosing to be right and kind, always choose kindness. Never accept criticism from someone you wouldn't accept advice from. When you work for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. A person who has no life of their own will always try to create drama in your life. You can't lose what you've never had. You can't keep what isn't yours, and you can't hold on to what doesn't want to stay. Life always gives you a second chance, it's called tomorrow. Most people will deceive you. If you give them at least half a chance, it's never too late to recreate yourself. When you do the right thing, others won't even be sure you did anything. Don't burn yourself out to keep others warm. Those who care don't matter, and those who matter don't care. Believe half of what you see and don't believe anything you hear. Never expect someone to catch you when you fall, even if you've caught many others from falling. You may be someone's friend for years and only realize after many years that they were never truly your friend. Every ending is also a beginning. We just don't know it at the time. Facing difficulties and exhaustion means your life is on the upward slope. Work is tough, life is hard, relationships aren't smooth. It's inevitable to doubt yourself, doubt life, and not trust your own abilities. Throughout our human journey, there have always been doubts that shaped who we are today. Exhaustion and trouble mean life is still giving you a chance to prove your strength, standing before the storms of your own life. At the same time, it's the moment you are beginning to move toward a brighter and broader future. Wolves travel thousands of miles to eat meat, horses travel thousands of miles to eat grass. Fish live when swimming against the current, but die when they drift with the flow. The principles of life are the same. There's a saying that makes people truly appreciate: is life really exhausting? Exhaustion is inevitable, comfort is for the dead. No one is born with smooth sailing. Heaven sends you troubles and difficulties to face them positively, and it's a test for you. It is also said that the most powerful force is belief. Therefore, don't lose hope in yourself and never lose positive faith in life. Remember, when facing difficulties, exhaustion, and troubles, it means your life is on the rise. Even though chili is hot, you eat the whole pepper, and though bananas are sweet, you throw away the peel. There are natural laws of creation that we must acknowledge. So, keep moving forward even after falling, keep hoping even after disappointment. Smile, even when tears have fallen. To love each other, you must understand each other. To understand each other, you must trust each other. To trust each other, you must be sincere with each other. In life, misunderstandings often arise due to trivial matters. People's tongues weave stories and create endless drama. When your fingernails are long, you cut the nails, not the fingers. Similarly, when there is a misunderstanding, cut down your ego, but don't sever the relationship. Life is a package deal. Joy, sorrow, happiness, suffering, all come bundled together, you can't buy them separately. No one is born perfectly matched. It takes a bit of tolerance, a bit of patience, and a bit of sacrifice for one another for love to endure. As we grow older, we become more reluctant to explain ourselves. Sometimes, when someone misunderstands us, we even let them find their own answer. Over time, we only need those we love to understand us. As for others, it doesn't matter. Life is to be lived, not to be explained. Life is like a journey: some get on, some get off, some return, some leave. There are moments of reunion and moments of parting. Smiles, tears, and sometimes silent sorrow. People are superior to each other not by status, not by knowledge, not by wealth, but by how they live. Torn clothes can be patched up, a broken house can be repaired. Only the human heart, once hurt, is hard to heal. Those who have lived through hardship understand the true value of peace. Those who have experienced hunger and wandering cherish every bowl of rice. When you throw mud at someone, it might hit them or not, but your hands are already stained with mud. When someone intentionally hurts you, they, too, have to pay for it in their own way. The loneliest person is the kindest, the saddest person often has the most beautiful smile, and the most vulnerable person is usually the most sensitive. People who laugh a lot often have the most painful experiences inside. If you want to be a leader, you must face loneliness. The wolf that only lives on the hill will never have the ambition of the one climbing a higher peak. It's not easy to walk alone, but if you continue to strive and stay true to yourself, success will always be at the end of your journey, waiting for you. The hardest journey you must face is learning to walk alone. Walking alone means you have to learn to endure the storms, overcome every obstacle without teammates by your side. But this is the journey that will make you the strongest and form your resilience. So, if you are fighting alone, be strong and keep moving forward. This step is truly difficult, but it is the hardest step that will lead you to glory. Don't chase anyone. Be yourself, work hard on your own tasks. Then one day, the right people, those truly meant to be in your life, will come and stay. A man only needs to obey the law and persistently earn money. Don't dwell on love affairs, and don't worry about others looking down on you. When you succeed, what you won't lack is love and friendship. Life only bullies the poor. Love is the same. In reality, poverty cannot speak of fairness. No matter how cunning one is, there will always be loyal friends. Liu Bei, no matter how virtuous, still had sworn enemies. Therefore, in life, no matter what you do, there will always be people who praise you and others who oppose you. If you give someone your favorite candy, you think they will be overjoyed, but they may tell you they prefer sour flavors. To please others, you have to endure many hurts. You don't need to make life difficult for yourself. Even sunlight can't please everyone. Some say it's warm, others say it's dazzling. Therefore, you don't need to please everyone. You only need to be the most comfortable and lovable version of yourself. Sometimes, you can be selfish by making yourself happy. This is more important than anything else. A Zen master was traveling across the land. When he reached a mountain region, he fell seriously ill. An elderly woman, the owner of a tea shop, rescued him and took him home to care for him. Although she didn't know the identity of the Zen master, her poor shop had no customers or money, but she still took care of him for more than 3 months. When the Zen master recovered, moved by her kindness, he spent a week digging a well next to the shop for her so she wouldn't have to go to the stream for water anymore. Unexpectedly, when the elderly woman began using the well water to brew tea, her tea had a special aroma and taste. Anyone who tried it had to come back. Word spread, and her tea shop became busier and busier. The elderly woman selling tea suddenly became rich. A few years later, the Zen master passed by again to visit his benefactor. Seeing the prosperous shop, the Zen master was happy for her. When he asked about the well water, the elderly woman complained to him that the water from the well was good, but it was no longer enough for her needs. The number of customers kept increasing, and she was running out of water to sell to them. "Could you dig another well for me, one with plenty of water?" The Zen master shook his head and replied, "It costs nothing to use the water that heaven provides. You have made so much money, and yet you are still dissatisfied?" The elderly woman calmly answered, "If the water is free, wouldn't it be better to have more of it?" The Zen master didn't know how to respond and quietly wrote on the wall, "The vastness of heaven and earth is great, but the greed of mankind is even greater." Then, he silently left, never to return to the tea shop. The well gradually ran dry after that. Are we like that old woman, starting as good people but turning bad because of our insatiable greed? When we were poor, we lived with kindness and sincerity, not concerned about money. But when we become wealthy, we start to think only about earning more, and our minds are consumed with money. Knowing enough is enough. When will we ever be satisfied if we keep asking for more? Knowing peace is peace. When will we ever be at peace if we keep waiting for it? A smart man doesn't need to find a wife who is extraordinarily beautiful. He only needs someone who is ready to love and understand him. A woman of virtue will satisfy him, because a smart man knows that a beautiful woman is just an ornament, but a woman with virtue is the foundation of the family. No matter how mature a man is, what matters is that the woman doesn't appear sloppy. A neat and tidy appearance is enough. Because the best woman is a treasure, not some expensive accessory. Live according to your beliefs, and you can change the world. Life's difficulties are unavoidable, but what matters is choosing how to overcome them. Don't wait for what you wish for, go out and search for it. We never regret the things we've done, we only regret the things we didn't do when we had the chance. From our past experiences, we learn lessons to guide our future. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. The only person who makes mistakes is the one who does nothing at all. Don't fear mistakes, as long as you don't make the same one twice. Failure is simply an opportunity to begin again, but this time smarter. Life is full of unexpected challenges, and we can't avoid them. The only thing we can do is change our perspective on them. Your life will only be meaningful and complete when you learn to preserve your dreams, recognize values, and believe in promises. Peace is the reflection of happiness, and happiness is reflected through love. Only when we accept our flaws and find ways to compensate for them can we hope for peace. When we know enough is enough, everything becomes strangely peaceful. A good meal with family is the most peaceful thing, washing away the hardships of life. Peace lies in the heart, yet many people don't realize this and keep searching for it outside. Peace is when we look back at the years gone by and see all the obstacles, but still sit here with only a few faded scars. Having a place to return to, home. Having people to love, family. To have both, that is happiness. A happy life requires peace of mind. When everything seems to be against you, remember that an airplane can only take off by fighting against the wind, not with it. Pessimists always find difficulty in every opportunity. Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. Our intelligence comes from experience, and experience comes from our own ignorance. If you want to buy things without looking at the price, work without checking the clock. Invest in your dreams, and you will surely shine. It is never too late to start chasing your dreams. When you bring joy to others, you will receive even more joy in return. People don't stop pursuing dreams because they grow old because they stop pursuing dreams. Do not regret what has happened in the past, for at that time, it was exactly what you wanted. Life is not a battle with others, but a long race with oneself. Don't waste time regretting the past or complaining about changes that make you uncomfortable, because change is an inevitable part of life. Everyone wants to change the world, but if you can't fix your own flaws, how can you expect to change anything? Life is like an hourglass, with each day that passes bringing us closer to death. When you are still physically capable, able to read and write, why waste your days on just eating and sleeping? Don't blame anyone else, and you can't change the educational system or teachers. There is only one solution: change yourself. Each stumble is not necessarily a fall, and each fall is not necessarily a failure. When you undervalue what you do, the world will also undervalue who you are. We don't have many opportunities to do things, so make sure everything you do is truly great, because this is your life. Those who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who will do it. Life is short, and everyone will eventually leave. You know this, right? We all have the right to choose how to live our lives, so live in a way that is truly worthy and meaningful. If you can do something good, keep moving forward and do even more wonderful things. Don't stop for too long. What matters is not how long you live, but how well you live. Sometimes you make mistakes when innovating, quickly accept them and continue improving. There are times when people are not stubborn or unwilling to forgive, but are simply waiting for an opportunity to forgive that never comes. If you always think someone else's life is better and try to become a copy of them, you will always miss the boat of your own life. Life always has two types of problems, those that can be solved with money, and those that cannot. But when your life is comfortable materially, you have already alleviated 60 to 70% of your burdens. Don't look too far ahead, as you might miss what's right in front of you and trip. But also don't just focus on what's in front of you and forget the bigger goal. Balance the present and the future. Life is full of surprises. We can't predict when they will come, but we can learn how to accept them positively and peacefully. When you complain about not having a good starting point, remember that in this era, you can no longer rely solely on your parents, you must rely on your own abilities. End of Part 2. The stories in Part 2 are evidence that life always offers unexpected lessons. But don't stop here. Part 3 will continue to provide fresh perspectives and lessons you might not want to miss. Stay tuned.